Hello guys and welcome to another David Simulata. My name is Serge. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to install a rear diffuser on your Tesla Model 3. In my case I have a Tesla Model 3 Performance and I already have installed the side skirts and also the front lip. Now this is the last and final piece that I'm actually going to be installing, which is my rear diffuser. So I'm actually performing this in a garage at night after a long day of work. So basically what we're gonna need is a couple ramps, and you could just back up on them very carefully. Make sure you don't forget to check your wheels. I actually already did. So now you need something soft like a blanket or like a moving blanket to place all of your parts to make sure they're not going to get scratched, and additionally so you could lay down and actually do your work. You will need for this job a drill or a screwdriver, like a Phillips head. And if you don't have any screws, if you picked up a kit on eBay without screws, you could just basically buy some screws from eBay or, in my case, Home Depot. So basically this is made out of ABS plastic. As you can see, there's some light imperfections. I'm hoping that I'm not going to face any fitment issues. It comes in 4 pieces. You got this main piece right here, and of course you got the side pieces. I recommend installing that first and installing the middle section last. This is the screws I'm going to be using. You could use whatever screws you like. I just show something that's going to work for me. Now I will be applying some 3M tape, and I'm actually using my own tape for this. I actually had a supply. Some kits come with tape. Mine came with tape and screws. I misplaced them. I don't feel like looking for it, so I had to buy some 3M tape and screws. Therefore, I'm actually going to be just installing some screws. So in this moment, I'm actually installing the middle section. That after installing this kit, I understood why it would be probably a good idea installing it last. I mean, it's questionable, but I really don't trust the tape that much, and that's why I think installing it last would be best. But that is if you're ready to ruin your bumper. And by ruining your bumper, I mean actually screwing into the white portion of your bumper or whatever color Tesla that you have. If you don't want to ruin your bumper, just go ahead and install it. In my case, I don't want to ruin it. I'm okay with screwing into the black portion. You know, that's fine. It's not going to be really noticeable. But screwing the screws into the actual bumper, not for me. Anyways, right now I'm actually installing the 2 side pieces. They're really easy to slide in. You could slide them in and they're going to hold without any screws being present. There is, however, some screw holes there. And in my case, I picked out some thinner screws that will actually work for this job. And I'm actually going to be using a Phillips head screwdriver to actually drive in the screws. So after screwing in the left portion, I'm going to actually screw in the right. And I want to make sure I get it nice and tight. In my case, I actually chose the proper screws. This is working out great. The only problem is I was not able to find any screws that are black, and I found silver instead. The good thing is, after installation, these screws will not be visible. So now I'm actually installing the last piece. You know, it's actually made perfectly to where you could actually slide it right in, and that actually makes your job a lot easier. This is a 2-person job at least. You would need somebody to help you, but since this is a DIY video, of course I'm gonna do it myself, and that means I'm gonna figure it out. I'm doing this kit for the first time, especially for the Tesla Model 3. I've never done a rear diffuser before on any car, and here I am experimenting with this one. I don't have any association with whoever made this kit. However, I chose the kit that I wanted. There was many different choices, and this is what I got. And now, of course, I'm trying to pre-fit it before actually installing any tape, so that it's not going to get stuck to the car and then I can't really remove it. Now I'm actually installing some 3M tape, and I'm trying to be not wasteful and basically making my job as easy as possible. I'm actually a professional taper. I had a job taping up cars for paint. So taping stuff up, it's actually easy peasy for me. But anyways, this is not rocket science, right? So anyways, I do recommend preheating this surface and also the tape with a heat gun or using like a hair dryer. In my case, I don't have a hair dryer and I don't have a heat gun, so I'm not actually going to be preheating it. However, I recommend at least wiping down the surface. And in my case, I went over and over with wet wipes, which are kind of like alcohol based. And I was surprised how much dirt and grime I had on it, even though I just washed my car like a couple days ago. And I do have some PPF on the bumper, so if there's any imperfections, that's actually on the PPF itself, which is clear and you can't really tell. So now it's time for me to actually pre-fit it again before I decide to tear off the red tape. So pre-fitment seems pretty good, but I guess we'll find out once I actually take hold of this tape off. This is a very tedious process. If you're doing this by yourself and you don't have a helper, it's a good idea to use like a box or like a bin or something of the sort. In my case, a bin worked just fine. It wasn't high enough, so I stick another little bin underneath. It is going to be best to just find a place on each left corner and the right corner of the bumper and install each piece using just one screw. You will actually find the best place where it conforms to your bumper. Now, the reason I'm saying one screw instead of four on each side, that's the amount of holes, is because you will need to kind of like have room for adjustment, like for instance, lifting up the kit. And since I actually installed one screw at a time, everything lined up perfectly. I pushed the bumper up and everything actually nice and center. And now I'm actually installing all the screws. I'm actually installing a lot more screws than required. Oh my gosh, guys, look how beautiful that looks. I'm so happy that finally the missing piece is installed on my Tesla. I know you might be thinking, what missing piece? Well, the front bumper side skirts is done. Now the rear diffuser. It's looking beautiful. Time for me to park it outside, ready for tomorrow, put it in the charge, and that's it. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. If you need any more advice, please ask in the comment section below. Either I or somebody else will actually answer your question. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And please hit a like on this video and share. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.